Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Untold Radio Tales. My name's Hunter of Mornings with Hunter on 103.5, The Rockin' Eagle, WIKK FM. We are on weekdays Monday through Friday from 6 to 10. So if you haven't listened already, maybe that is what you do after this. If it is daytime. If it is not, come listen tomorrow morning. Welcome back to episode 2 of Untold Radio Tales. This one's called The Track That Went Off the Rails. So today we are diving into the unpredictable world of radio dedications, band songs, and my own blunders. That's right, I'm going to kind of call myself out here. But back in the day, dedications and call-ins were a really big part of radio. And, with songs becoming more explicit and just the music world kind of changing, that has kind of died off, and that's one reason why I have Special Request Fridays on my show, so we can kind of bring the world of music dedication back. So every Friday from 6 to 10 during my show, my listeners can text in songs that they want to hear, obviously, A, that are not filled with profanities, and B, that pretty much stick within our classic rock format. But whenever radio was in its prime, listeners would call in to request songs for birthdays, anniversaries, and even breakups. And trust me, we're going to get into that. And people would dedicate a song to people that they admired, or maybe someone who didn't even know that they existed. That is true. And it was a way for people to connect and, in a way, make the airwaves feel a little bit more personal. And as a DJ, those dedication calls, or texts in my case, could be some of the most heartfelt, funny, and sometimes even completely awkward moments on the air. Sometimes you never knew what people were going to say or what they would even text in to see what they would request. So most of these dedications were heartfelt, some were really funny, and others were just completely unpredictable. And I'm going to share some of my personal stories from my Special Request Fridays. These are some of the most memorable stories that have been so great to this day. One that sticks out with me a lot, and I still talk about this story to this day, is one time we had this guy text in to say that he had been listening and he wanted to know what song we had just played. But a couple different songs had just played, so I wanted to, I texted him back to verify which one. We had a male song and a female song, and he said the female one, so I told him what it was. And turns out he was getting ready to go break up with his girlfriend. But something about the song that we had just played ended up completely changing his mind. Now, for the life of me, I cannot remember what the song was. I do know that it was female-led. But it's amazing how a song can make such an impact. And I mean, you never know when a dedication is going to change someone else's story. So he was literally in his car. He had our station on. He was going to break up with his girlfriend. But what the song that we were playing, it completely changed his mind. And then another story that sticks out is there were these two guys that listened, and they knew each other. And I call this the listener feud because these two guys thought it would be fun to try and tick each other off because one guy did not like one band. I want to say that maybe it was like Nickelback or something. And then the other guy didn't like, I want to say maybe the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I really don't remember, but I just know that each guy did not like one band. So the other guy would request a song from the other band just to make the other guy mad. And they did it for a while. They have not texted in a hot minute, but I remember them texting me on this Friday. They would each text me and say, I want to play this song, I want to play that song. And they went on for a good couple of months just playing, I want to say, Nickelback and Red Hot Chili Peppers songs back to back. But I cannot remember. So they just kept requesting songs from each other's least favorite bands, and it was literally a dedication standoff, and I was just there playing DJ referee, so. And, sometimes dedications don't go as planned at all, and this one still haunts me to this day. But I remember one request I had on a Friday. It was a song that I had never heard before. But these guys that were texting in, their songs had been, they were more songs that you typically hadn't heard before, but nothing too crazy. So I searched up the lyrics and whatever, and it seems to be fine. So I start playing it. Well, halfway through the song, there is a whole speaking section that was not typed out in the lyrics, and it was full of obscenities. It had like the F word, like every other word. So I was literally scrambling to cut off the song and go straight to a commercial break. But the bad thing is I had to come back on and apologize for the song. It was insane. And I'm like, I am so sorry. The lyrics, those words were not in the lyrics, and I'm so sorry. So I was cringing the whole rest of the day after that, hoping that no one was really paying that much attention to that part, even though deep down I knew I knew that a decent amount of people were listening and definitely heard it, but I just had to keep telling myself that it was fine. And again, that still haunts me to this day. And it's moments like these that make radio so unforgettable and so unpredictable that you never quite know what's going to happen. And that's just a taste of the wild world of dedications. But sometimes things go even further off the rails, and that is what we're going to dive into next. So with that being said, dedications were always part of an adventure, and Special Request Friday is a huge part of my show. That's where a decent amount of my listeners come in, but they're only a part of the wild ride. And when you're working in radio, it's not just about the songs that people want to hear, it's about some of the songs that they don't want to hear too, because some tracks could really get us in hot water if we're not careful. So we're going to talk about the world of banned songs on FM radio, the songs that you would never expect to be controversial or the ones that would catch you completely off guard. And, sometimes a song could seem perfectly fine at first glance, but then you'd find out it had lyrics that didn't exactly fit the station vibe or were too edgy for the airwaves, and it could all happen in real time. Like I just said, that song played, I had no idea the middle part was full of that. And again, it leaves you literally scrambling for the mute button. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why some songs can get played on FM, or some songs can't be played on FM, but can be played on like Sirius radio or like live radio. So if you look up the 7 bad words of radio, I'm not going to say them here, but there is a list of words that you cannot say on FM radio. That is a big no-no by FCC rules, and those can get you in a lot of trouble. But on Sirius, they have pretty much free range of what they play, and here's the difference. FM radio is free, and Sirius radio and other radio forms like that are paid for. So when you're paying for that, you kind of know that is what you're paying for. Compared to FM radio, everyone can listen to that. So there's some songs that we have to play the radio edit. And some people actually get really mad that we have to play the radio edit. They're like, oh, well, I can play this on Sirius just fine. Well, that's just the thing. FM radio is free for everyone family radio, little ears can pick up on that. And, little ears can pick up on Sirius radio. But again, Sirius radio is paid for. So they, can kind of do whatever they want compared to FM live radio. It is, free, live, everyone can hear it. So that's kind of the main difference there. Like today, there just seems to be more profanity in music. It just seems like a lot of songs you listen to today are just filled with that. And so you couldn't necessarily get away with playing those on FM radio unless you do play the radio edit. And so, if you want to listen to those songs, you can't request them on my show because I'll get in trouble. But you can definitely play them yourself or listen to them on another format. But that's like one of the biggest reasons of no songs. Because there's definitely been times where I've had to turn people down and be like, I'm sorry, I can't. So yeah, that's one of our biggest determinations and factors between FM radio and like satellite radio. So as always, radio has its quirks, its unexpected moments, and all of the challenges that come with keeping the airwaves running smoothly. And so I hope that some of these stories give you a little glimpse into the real world of the behind the scenes of radio and maybe even a few laughs. So we've been talking about band songs, dedications, mishaps, and all the unpredictable twists that come with being on air. But now I thought we'd lighten things up with a quick little game. I recently picked up a card game called Song Titles for A-Holes, but we're going to call it Song Titles for Jerks. And I thought it would be perfect for the show. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm getting it set up as we speak. And so what I'm going to do for this segment is I don't have the video version of the podcast available yet, but I am recording this segment right here for TikTok. So if you want to see me actually pulling the cards and everything, you can do so and watch it on TikTok. But I'm very excited. So this is the game we're going to play. We're calling it Song Titles for Jerks, though. And so it kind of works like Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples or What Do You Meme? Games like that. So what we're going to do is I thought we would just draw a few cards at complete random and go from there. So I thought it'd just be a fun little segment into talking about the mishaps of radio. Let's change some song names. And we don't know what we're going to get because the cards are all going to be randomized. So our first black card is Blank in the Cradle. Blank in the Cradle. Now we're going to draw a random white card. What is in the cradle? Prince Albert's in the cradle. Prince Albert in the cradle. All right, let's do another one. Another black card. With or without blank. With or without what? With or without grandma's ashes. Oh, no. Or grandpa's ashes. There's grandma or grandpa. Either one. Oh, my goodness. That's awful. Okay, let's do one more. Can't get enough of your blank, baby. Can't get enough of your what? Can't get enough of your... Oh, can't read that one. All right. Can't get enough of your cornhole. Can't get enough of your cornhole. That is perfect for the Midwest where I live. We play cornhole all the time. So, so that's Song Titles for Jerks. We might play this again very soon on our show. I just thought it would be fun to see what crazy songs we could come up with since we're talking about song mishaps and dedications and stuff. So before we go today, guys, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who tuned in to the first episode of Untold Radio Tales. Your support and enthusiasm has meant the world to me. It has been crazy how much support and love we got on the first episode, and I thank you. And I would love to keep hearing from you. So if you have a minute, please fill out the Google Forms that are linked in our link tree. I'm always looking for your feedback to make each episode better, plus more of the content that you enjoy. Plus, if you have any song requests or dedications of your own, you can tune in on Fridays to Mornings with Hunter. I would love to play them for you. So as always, thanks for tuning in to Untold Radio Tales. We'll catch you next time with even more radio tales and surprises. So until then, keep those requests coming, and remember, you never know when your favorite song might just make an appearance. So my name's Hunter. Thank you all so much for rocking out with us here today. Don't forget to be a good person, do great things, and have an amazing rest of your day. Until next time, bye!
Every tale of journey we listen to.